actions are very big and it's very cliche, but it's like, no, actions really do speak louder than words. Because a person can keep saying something and keep doing something else. It's like, which one are you going to believe?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Deja D, or K to the C. Wow, so many nicknames. I am here on Dare to Talk, and I have my first guest. I'm so excited.
This is going to be a wild ride. Right? Buckle up.
I am excited. I have my first guest. She is, if you think I'm bad, multiply that by 20. And that's her.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, you're worse. I'm not that bad. You're horrible. Yeah. No, I'm very much so like filtered water. You're just straight up tequila.
That's not true.
That is very
That's
much
not true.
That is very.
Let
Everybody,
me
I'm just.
No. Let me just paint a picture real quick. I think that I just can't believe you said that. Like, she's from Boston, so she's very like cutthroat and like.
We're not even cutthroat. We're not. We're very like you're giving me New York energy, and I don't. That's.
No. We just have so many insiders, and she kind of knows that that's not true. But we're gonna
breeze past it. And, we say all that to say, I'm excited to have Jalen on. Turn up. This has been a long time coming. She's one of the people that have been like pushing me to like definitely get in my creative bag more, and I guess in a nice way, talk my shit more. You know, be a little more confident in what I do and how I do it. So it was only right that I had her on. I'm very excited. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm really still tired. My birthday just passed.
Yeah. Oh, get on the mic. Yeah. Get close.
I decided. Okay, I love Drake. I love Lil Wayne, and I can't say at this point if I love Drake as a result of loving Lil Wayne so much.
Ooh, that's valid.
I mean, but I feel like now it's like kind of like we've segued off. Like I just love Drake. And so I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Obviously we're already in Houston, and then went to Atlanta, went to Vegas. Needless to say, they wouldn't give me the next day off work. I don't want to really talk about that.
It's fresh.
But I'm just tired. I never caught up on my sleep. But like, I feel like, so this is my first full week being 29.
Ooh, does it feel different?
It does feel different.
Like in a bad way, like you're back and shit, or no?
Okay, well, I mean, that was always the thing, right? We're on our feet all day. But it
get
feels,
closer to the mic.
Wow,
there you go,
this is
go.
like a little, so professional. No, but it feels different in a good way of like, it feels very reflective. I feel like maybe because I came into this year being super intentional about like what I wanted it to be. So like, I felt like my 20s, I worked so hard. And that was all that I did. And that was all that I focused on, like working, money. And of course, I feel like
I've yet to see that one, right?
don't have anything to show for it, right? So that was kind of part of it. Is like you're doing all this, and I feel like I don't need to like establish anymore that like work ethic is a part of me, but I just need to take more time to just have fun. And so I feel like I've been like having more fun, like
too much, right?
Oh, okay. I don't think you need to say that, but. Come on, kind of next question, right?
I already knew this was going to be a hard session because we can't take nothing serious. Some may say that's a trauma response, right? But YOLO.
Yeah.
You live once.
If you guys could hear, so let me kind of set the stage for y'all on like the friendship. Me and Khadijah have certainly trauma bonded. If you're a teacher, sure. You understand. And so we talk on the phone every morning, and I will not.
But like, name the why, because I think that's yeah.
So I won't disclose what we say because it's absolutely inappropriate. But what I will say is that Khadijah has come up with the phrase that every morning we have to jolt.
Like, I think I want y'all to pause here and just Google jolt, right? Like, usually jolt is what do you call that? Simultaneous, like with electrocution, right?
Yeah. And so we jolt out of sleep. And as soon as the phone rings, whether it's, going that way or this way, we're instantly irritated. Or the whole drive to work is like road rage. God forbid if we can't stop at Starbucks or McDonald's.
I will gladly be late.
Yeah.
Because it's the difference between doing some time in the pen or getting
you're gonna do that.
Right?
Right.
No, it's probation.
No, it's Joe.
No, I would say it's probation.
All right, I have a quick yes or no question for you.
I know. There's no maybe. It's just yes or no.
No, yes or no. You have to answer right away.
Okay.
Do you love your job?
No.
No, I had that one on the way. Like, I was like, I'm going to ask her that.
Yeah.
No, you said what you said. Now, if you want to go back and justify.
I want to go back and justify. I think when I first got into teaching, I want to justify this because I think some people hear like me or you have conversations or say things and they're like, well, what kind of teacher are you? I want to name like we give our all to our kiddos and like me and Jalen both got into this field because of the impact it would have on Black and brown children. Mm-hmm. But I think through the generations, it is literally, I've seen it, and I can't speak for Jay, but I've seen it like decline.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask you. So, how many years did you teach before the pandemic hit?
I was only my second year.
You were in your second year when the pandemic hit. Oh, okay, that's a little different because
it's a lot of different. You're being nice. Very different.
No, but I'm saying like I feel like the teacher that I was, even between like my first year and my second year, but really like between the first year and the third year, there's a huge difference because there's just a lot of things that you learn. I feel like teaching is like a job. Like it's not like an office job. It's a job where you're very much learning like a lot about yourself. Yeah. But you're also learning like so much about how to do the job in that first and second year.
That's valid. I can attest to that.
But what do you feel like what are like some major differences between your first year teaching, so like pre-pandemic versus post, and maybe like first year versus now?
I think mainly kids were nicer. Like they were more empathetic. Like my first year I taught kindergarten and kids were just like, even if they like tripped into somebody, oh, I'm so sorry. Like it was just like overly empathic. Where now it's just like a kid will bump into them and be like, okay, Ian. Like it's just like there's no social. Or they say nothing. Or they say nothing. And it's like the social cues or lack thereof is just, there's none. Like prime example, I have a student, that's not my personal student, but a student in the grade level. She has lost her mother and like they'll make jokes about, obviously, and your mama jokes is appropriate for third grade, right? Yeah. But they'll joke about somebody's parent being dead and like not understanding like, oh, that's something you don't play with. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that I've had to have multiple conversations about that is mind blowing to me because I feel like my first year, I wouldn't even have to mention that. Like they would just be like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? There would be some type of like empathy. There's none. And there's no remorse. These kids don't give a rat's ass. They don't. And I don't know how to say that in a nicer way. They don't. They don't care.
I think, I've definitely picked up on that. Social skills are like non-existent, which is like a little bit different for me. So I'm in my 7th year. And so I taught for...
God bless.
Well, what did the Bible say, right? What did it say about 7? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Completion. Get me out. Right? I'm done. But anyways, so I feel like I see a lot of differences, but it's also a little bit different for me because I have a hard time like separating like, well, maybe some things are kind of hitting you right in a good spot, right? I have a hard time like separating what is like developmentally, and not a hard time, but like what's developmentally appropriate for elementary school kids versus middle school kids. But I definitely saw the difference like pre-pandemic, like kids would just try a little harder. And it's like
right? That's a new virtue.
Yeah. I mean, working for a charter is already like they're spoon-fed. But it's like now You want me to like literally, we have literally been told in some instances, like, well, if you ask them and they can tell you, write it for them. I never recall a teacher writing my work if I couldn't verbalize. Are you kidding?
Or my thing is, if you got that, you were in a sub-separate classroom. Yeah. Right? You were in a classroom where it's like...
No, say it, right? You kind of went with the other kids. We all knew it, and we never named it what you're saying, right? Like, kids were more kind. We never had to say it.
Yeah, that's valid.
Right? But you went with the
superheroes. I like to call them superheroes because they're flying out of here. Right? Not here with us sometimes.
Yeah.
No, all the time.
Sometimes,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, correction.
But we knew that why they was going with Miss B.
Yeah.
And you was kind of reminding them, hey, we about to take a test, remember? You got to go with Miss B, right?
But it was never no, like harshness to it.
Yeah, no,
sense?
like with no bullying or anything. But you need to go with Miss B because I know you're not taking your test in here. Because Miss B about to help you on the test.
There's a lot more kids that need to be going with her. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, but you got to go. You're not on her list. I'll talk to her. Go.
Yeah, no, it's not even I'm going to talk to her. You're going to go with her anyway, and I'll tell her why later, right? Because if you stay in here, now my data messed up. You know what I mean? And I'm having a conversation when I know what you be saying, little Leroy. He need to go with Miss B. Like,
Leroy is never to be in the classroom. He's to always, hey, Lee, you know. He's already lined up at the door. That's great. Leroy is always no.
That's sad.
People think it's sweet. I just really think, I get irritated when people are like, oh, you're a teacher, so you get vacations. We've earned all our school vacations that first month of school. And what are you talking about?
Enough. Like, there is no way that we could ever be repaid, whether it's money or like with off days or whatever. Mm-mm. And even with that, I feel like it's just very unfair.
It's still not
like
enough.
What we go through to like they'll literally suggest that you make your doctor's appointments during your break, which would be lovely.
The uproar that people will give you, and this is not just our job. This is just like teaching in general. Like if you have, and this is something that I struggle with. Like I think like as a teacher, you should be able to do an oil change, get your car inspection, stuff like that. You got to think we personally are getting out at 3:30. What AutoZone, what dealership or what place can you go at that time? Keep in mind, we live in Houston. Traffic is a mug. Like it's ridiculous. So we can't even do our like adult responsibilities because we're there so much. And I feel like also too, teachers are salaried for a reason. Because if they paid us what they owe us hourly, they'd be bankrupt.
Yeah, and we would hit overtime so quick. Because like
so freaking quick.
I coach after we get out of school. So oftentimes I'm literally working like we have to be at work at 6:50 a.m. Hence ridiculous. Jolt, right? We have to be at work at 6:50 and then I'm probably leaving. If we have just practice, I'm probably leaving at like 6:30. But if we have a game, I'm getting home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
That's insane.
So I would be hitting overtime.
She loves her
like,
job, like Loki.
Okay, I love. Anyways, I would be hitting overtime like Wednesday, and that's just 1 week. Like, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. Check on your teacher friends. Like this is
no, don't check on like Cash App them and not $5. I don't need $5. I need.
We got to make something shake, and 5 is not giving me that. We're making something shake.
Yeah.
Being honest.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it's harder for you to find love because you're a teacher? Like, do you feel like that the job is so demanding?
I'm going to be honest with you. The pool has like piss, diarrhea, floating tampies. So already it's just not a good scene, right? Crime scene. But I would say because the hours and the time that you have to put in, because this is the only job that I would say you have to prep before, you have to prep while you're there, and you have to prep after you leave.
Yeah, like you're always working, unless you're like sleeping.
Yeah, and I just gotten to a point, and I told Jalen this, I got into a point where I'm like, I'm just not doing that no more. Like whatever's not done at 3:30 is just not done. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to compromise my weekend, my nights, because then you're telling me I got to come home plan. So I barely have time to like shower, cook dinner, and just get a solid 8 hours. That's ridiculous to me. I should never have to compromise my like existence.
Yeah, there's always something that you won't get.
Yeah.
So like you said, like literally, do I wait to take a shower in the morning? Now I'm running late because I want to sleep as much as possible. Am I not going to eat? Which I often do. And I know that like literally that is so unhealthy. But I'll oftentimes will not eat dinner because I'm just so exhausted and I want to get enough sleep. Do I just like not do my plans, which I feel like we've both decided. Like, but I feel like, see, that's the thing that comes with like what I was talking about earlier, like the time that you've been teaching. Because as a first year, I'm sure there are some people who will break their neck.
Yeah. Very stressed.
You
now
know,
I'm just
staying
like,
up all night, grading papers. Literally, I'm not doing that.
I'm not.
I'm not even going to bring it home because I know I'm not going to touch my
I'm not
book
even
bag
gonna
at
hurt my own
all when I
feelings.
get home.
I'm not.
Do you say, oh, this is cool. This is like a cool regional thing that I've learned from living in several places.
What?
What do you call the bag that you put on your back?
A backpack.
What do you call the store that we go to get hair supplies?
The hair store.
What do you call?
There was judgment in.
No, because I say that too, but most people don't say that. What do you call? Dang, what was the next one I was gonna say? What do you call? Oh, what do you call Sprite?
A soda. I like to say pop though. I like that. I like that better than soda.
You like to say pop? We say pop. Like
Pop,
I say pop.
pop just sounds better.
I say pop. I say hair store. What did you say you call the bag?
Backpack. The kids at work be like, it's a book bag. No, it's a backpack.
Yeah, I say book bag.
No.
What do you call the bag that your lunch goes in?
Your lunchbox.
Yeah, I say like lunch bag, but I noticed in Texas they say lunch kit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what's a lunch kit? Like last year, I was like, oh, what's that? Jackson was the one who told me like, no, girl, lunch like this. I was like, oh, a lunchbox.
Well, I was like, maybe that like stems from the other things going in it. Like,
what do you
know how
mean?
you can get like the set sometimes, like where it'll have like the thing for your sandwich and like a cup.
Different containers.
But like that is more of a kit than like if it's a bag, it's a bag.
Yeah.
Because my mom used to be like, go get your lunch bag.
Dang, now that's gonna like mess with me.
I'm like so intrigued by like regional vocabulary.
That's interesting.
Because they don't say hair store, they say beauty supply.
But that's a brand though.
What do you mean?
That's like a brand of store. Like a Target that like, you know what I mean? Like it's all a store, but there's a Target and a Walmart. Beauty supply is
Oh, what do you say if you have to go and get food to eat from Walmart? What do you say that you're going?
The grocery store.
Oh yeah, people say food shopping. That blows. Me.
We do say I'm gonna go food shopping real quick.
You and your homeboy, right? I'm food shopping. Like, nigga, you at the grocery store. What are you talking about?
No, food shopping. I gotta go food shopping.
Yeah,
I'm shopping for food.
All right, but that's annoying. Yeah, literally called groceries. What do you say when you are about to go and check out when you're food shopping?
Going to the register.
Yeah, but what do you call it while you're waiting?
Getting aggravated. I don't. Checking out. No?
Yeah, but you're in what?
Oh, the line.
Do you say in line or online?
No, in line. I'm in line.
All right.
Online. That's.
What do you call what you put the groceries in as you're shopping?
Oh, the cart. The cart, yeah.
Some people say basket. That blows me too.
The basket is the one you hold.
You hold a basket, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
We're kind of on the same page.
Yeah, not too much on me. I got,
I don't think I have any more. But those are things that I always ask people when I'm
gonna be like
from somewhere else.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask other people. That's interesting.
But I also feel like we're kind of similar in like we'll kind of like adapt. Like I'll adapt to wherever I'm at, so they're not like, why are you saying that? Because I think it kind of came from my first year teaching when I first moved here. Like I feel like I've picked up a small accent since I've been here.
Yeah, I don't.
Like people tell me that a lot, and my kids always used to be like, why you talking like that? Why you call it that? Like, okay, get your book bags.
Yeah, it's called civil, right?
Sense.
Pick up.
So I was like, you know what? Let me kind of like bridge the gap for you.
Because it gets annoying after a while.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep having to explain.
That's why I just got to the point. Book bag. Get your book bag.
Yeah.
Grab it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, get your lunch kit out the middle of my floor. Do you understand that?
Ooh, what do you call the thing you wear? Like, oh, it's cold outside. I need to put it on.
Like a coat or a hoodie? I'll call it a sweatshirt. I don't know what
I
you're
just call it a jacket.
They're all jackets?
Mm-hmm.
They're not all jackets.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's a heavy-duty coat, but it's a jacket.
So if it has a hood, it's still a jacket? It's a hoodie?
Yeah. No. It's a jacket.
Yeah, you're kind of doing too much.
I wanted to tell you something, but I was like, I'm going to tell her online. So this is when you would say online, like internet, like the web?
Yeah, online. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I say inline.
I wanted to make sure that we were like aligned on that. So I wanted to know if this is me just being sensitive, or is it like, nah, they're kind of doing too much. So there's 4 different occasions that this person kind of took it to the hoop, all in one day. I want to name. So first thing that like kind of triggered me and was like, is I get bothered when, and maybe this is like a woman thing, but I get bothered when you talk about somebody, like you walk them like a dog, like you are going in, but then you're around them and it's like go best friends, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay. I was like, all right, that's interesting. It bothers me on a personal level because then it makes me feel like, well, if you could talk about her and be a best friend in her face, then that means you walking me like a dog too. In my mind, right? I think
especially when like that, that bothers me more when it's like you actually spend more time with this person that you always talking about to me.
Yeah.
So you have more time to actually talk shit about me.
Yeah.
To them.
Yeah.
So now you like faking, you doubling back. Yeah.
Cool.
Right,
so that's one. Mm-hmm. Second thing is, as y'all know, like I said this on the No Clearance podcast, and I've said I think no, I haven't said it here yet. But like I'm getting a dog. Like it's not I'm getting a dog. And so I realized that it's a lot of work, and I have people that are like, you should get one, but no, it's a lot of work, right?
And it's like always having an infant.
Yeah, and I get it. Like even Jay, she has a dog, and she's told me things like, definitely get it, but I need you to be prepared for like the little things that are I know
that nobody else will tell you about.
Yeah, that are gonna probably drive you crazy, but I want to be the first one to tell you. And so that's different, right? Your energy is not negative. It's not like, I don't know, it's not pessimistic. It's just like, I'm gonna give you the real, but you're gonna like, it's like you're gonna love this process, but at the same time hate it.
It's like teaching,
right? Still trying to find the love again, but but this person knows that and was like, oh, so what are you gonna do with the dog when you're at work? Fun fact about me, I get irritated very easily. My thing is, and me, I'm always seeking for clarification. So I was like, huh? What do you mean? This person says, yeah, but like they got to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes.
They don't have to go every 10 minutes.
And I sat there and I was just like, okay.
And also like,
they gonna first of all, my dog, I'm going to get a pin and he's going to be in there while I'm not here. One, I'm not going to have a puppy, like a baby roaming around my apartment unsupervised. That's just, it's a no-go for me. Like that's just
doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, and it's also asking for me to come to a messed up place, right? Like I'm asking for the plants to be down. It's just a hot mess. But for you to ask me that is just like, do you expect me to stay home and walk the dog every 10 minutes? 1. 2, you think I'm the only working person in America that's ever had a puppy?
And I think now, even like versus like 10, 15 years ago, there's so many resources and so many things and people that you could use to like figure out how to make this work for you. But also, like you said, like I literally would not be the first person in the country or the world to leave their dog while I go to work.
Like literally there's working people who do this all the time. And so that was the second one. The third one was,
It's the 4 things for me.
you know,
I'm gonna be honest.
and I really just wanted to list this out because I'm like, maybe I'm bugging. The third one was, I used to encounter somebody. We used to catch vibes.
Yeah.
If you pick it up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
And we no longer are vibing. And they are somebody who I'm like in contact with as far as like the thing I do on the side. I facilitate for new teachers, and so like helping them and guiding them through that process. And so that person popped up, and they just made it very awkward. Like,
hey.
And then the other person also like seemed like they were hinting towards it. And my thing is, why would you know to hint towards something if you don't know about it? Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I have evidence that you're like having conversations in regards to me and my business. Now, I need y'all to know, I talk about my shit and I put it all out in the open on here. So it's not even a thing of like, oh, I'm embarrassed. It's a thing of like, that's my business. And I don't mess with that person enough to be like, oh yeah, girl, tell them I don't care. I'm that person. Like, if I don't rock with you like that, my name shouldn't be in your mouth. You shouldn't be knowing what I got.
I just think
on.
that's weird.
It's strange, right?
Like at this age, that's very weird.
At this big, bro, like, huh?
That is so weird.
So, and then
I don't even have like another thing to say.
There's 4, right?
Hey.
Last one, and this, like I said, like I don't shade just like goes past me. I really don't care. Oh, Khadijah, is your hair? Did you dye your hair a different color? I was like, no, it's just faded out. I need to retouch it. Oh, no, I wasn't saying that to be shady. If you wasn't saying that to be shady, why would you say I wasn't saying that to be shady?
Hey, well, when's the last time you got a trim, right? Because most girls, you really could hit them where it hurts with that, right?
Yeah, like, but see, what's your curl pattern hitting for?
I'm trying not to, you know what I mean? Take it to the hoop with you.
When I tell you I'm trying to,
but you keep trying me. Why is that? And we supposed to be cool? Nah, you're good. Nah, you're good, for real.
Like, huh?
Like, they're good.
And I'm just like, I'm just trying to figure out. And I'm like, I'm starting to go to church again. And today's like word was, a person's actions is their character. Don't second guess that. Like, you got to take people, how they move as like, that's who they are. You can't change that.
That's really true though.
And it's like, and I feel like I'm very much so, I give people a whole bunch of chances. Chance after chance after chance. Like, prime example, if Jalen was like, oh, I don't fuck with Wooty Woo or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. I'm just going to be like, okay, like, I know not to put y'all in the room together or whatever, but I'm not going to stop messing with somebody because of the situation y'all had.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a chance.
I'm the same way, yeah.
Yeah. So if you do something to me where I feel like, hey, this is what Shorty was talking about, and my thing is like multiple people having these conversations, yeah, I think it's a dub.
I think though there's a certain point where like jealousy has to play a factor. And I'm not that girl that like, oh, she mad. Because I literally don't care what you got going on. Because I know like I'm trying to do whatever I'm trying to do for myself. Like, and like I said, like I'm really just said, like I saw somewhere, and I think I had posted this on my YouTube at some point, but I saw somewhere where somebody was like, I don't believe in like New Year's resolutions, but more so like a focus area or focus phrase or focus word. And I was like, I really like that. I do think it's something more so that like you should kind of do maybe like mid-year, like a midpoint, and maybe the end of the year.
The beginning of the year really isn't January, it's March. Like if you think of like numerically. So I think even but once again, we've had this conversation. So many things are whitewashed.
Yeah.
So it's like I agree with the mid-year. Like you should always be checking in with yourself throughout the year.
Yeah, like, and you really have to do what's best for you. But like I said, like one of my like focus areas or words is like intentionality. And so I feel like I'm trying to be so intentional with my choices that like unless it's like somebody who's close to me, I don't have time to be checking in with the next person. But you reach a point in situations where like that where you have to just kind of question like, okay, is there like a streak of jealousy here or like just something? Maybe it's not even jealousy. Like,
but it's off.
I can't, yeah. Like there's just a certain, and I mean, we've had this conversation offline several times that like we are very good judges of character.
Yes.
And it don't have to be like with me, I often have things where it's like, I either like vibe with this person or I don't. They don't have to like, oh, they did something. Yeah. It's just like I can just feel that like there's something off. Like we don't mesh.
Yeah. And I'm real into like not forcing things.
Yeah, like
Like if I got that feeling like, oh, we just not clicking, I cannot force it. Yeah. I can't force it to be a friendship because, oh, you cool with Jalen and them. Nope. It's just me and you just don't go.
And like I'll still, like you said, like I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll also give people chances, but I think you also have to look at like patterns. And it's like, I mean, like you said, like actions are very big and it's very cliche, but it's like, no, actions really do speak louder than words because a person can't keep saying something and keep doing something else. It's like, which one are you going to believe?
Right. That's valid.
Like, but I don't, at the end of the day, like that shit weird.
Great. So I'm not sensitive. It's just, it's strange.
No, it's weird.
Strange. Okay, great. Very weird. I was just like, huh? Like, and like I said, like I'm somebody like I'm not always looking to cut people off. Like my therapist likes to say I block people quickly. I think I don't. I think that I've given ample opportunity, ample time for you to kind of like redeem yourself. And I think what bothers me too is like people will know they fucked up or they did something wrong when they gotta double back and like, oh, are you okay?
Or, oh, I didn't mean that in a shady way. Yes, you did, because you wouldn't have said that.
Do you know what I mean?
We've never had a conversation where it was like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if I'll ask Jalen like, oh, okay, like, oh, when did you get your box braids? It's not it's growing out. Oh, not to be shady. No, it's never like that.
Or if that's what I think and we're actually friends, I'm going to say that to you. Even if it's whether we joke, like, you know what I mean? We'll definitely, like the other day, I literally pulled Kadisha on the stage and was like, hey, bro, like, you know what I mean? My meeks under the wig, they look crazy, bro. Look at this. And I pulled my wig back and showed it to her. But, like, I feel like you just have to, you know when you have that relationship with somebody and when you don't. And if you don't, then don't say that. And don't ever, like, I feel so strongly. And, like, I know deep down, I am a very sensitive person. Like
I feel like that, and I've owned that, and I feel like we both been open about that.
Yeah, like I'm emotional as hell. So like, don't try to embarrass me in front of people. That is like a huge thing for me.
Because my thing is like, but I think it goes back to when we talked about this before. It's this insecurity. Yeah, like you have this need to like make me feel small, to make you look like a giant, and it's like, actually read the room. Niggas are looking at you crazy.
Yeah. Especially because talking about like being judges of character and like vibes that you give off. Like I feel like similarly, we both give off a very like non-judgmental and like open vibe. Yeah. And just like a cool vibe. So it's like for you to do that, now people are looking at you crazy because it's like, bro, she don't do nothing to nobody. Like she didn't do nothing to you. Why would you say that? Right. And then it just creates this awkward space because then everybody like, first of all, now they look at your hair, and then it's like,
yeah, and get into the curls.
Yeah, because you sound mad.
You sound angry. You sound bitter. And it was one of my people was close to me too, and they was just like, huh? Like for other people to kind of be like, well,
like what's happening here?
Yeah, and I just feel like if I ever feel
kind of like, come on,
I know I need to catch up. If it ever feels weird around me. Like, if it feels like, because I think Jalen can attest to this. Sometimes, like, I'll just be like, I'll peep something and I'll get to myself. And I'll be quiet. And I'll just be observant. If I ever get like that, it is very much so not me. It's very much so the environment I am in. Yeah. I'm never going to get.
And the people that's around.
Yeah. I'm never going to get disrespectful with nobody, especially in a place that, like, I technically do business in. But I'm never going to be the one that looks crazy. Like, I refuse. I refuse to look wild. And did you?
It came off.
Oh, brother. I refuse to look crazy and wild. Like, I just don't. That's just not, I can't. Like, I'm not the person to, like, you know, do some shit where motherfuckers think, like, oh, she's dramatic or she's doing a lot or she's making a scene. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I just refuse. So I think that day, it definitely, like, rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, all right, I'm picking up exactly what you're putting down. And then right after, like, you know, it was over, I got a text like, are you okay? And it's like, I'm good.
My thing is, no, but are you okay?
And I think that goes to show, like, you was dead wrong. Like, you knew you was out of pocket that day or that afternoon or whatever the case may be. Because you only double back when you know you fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. You're good.
You're excellent. Don't worry about it, babe. Doing great.
That would have irritated me so bad.
Yeah. I love it here, right? It's fun. Yo.
Okay, I have a question.
All right, what's your question?
As far as like skin tone, like color wise,
Yeah.
like where do you fall? Like in your family, are your like siblings and your mom, like are y'all around the same color or no? Like skin tone.
Well, I'm adopted, so my mom is not like my biological mom, but I will say that my siblings don't have the same father. Love it here. And I think we're all like in the same variation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My mom is black, like she's dark. So I would say like none of us are her skin complexion, but I will say like we're all a variation of like
y'all are close in color.
Yeah, like it's not anything. I think my mom would be the only one who's like not close to our like skin color variation, if that makes sense.
Okay, because of that, do you think that like you know your true skin tone? Like, do you think that you see yourself as the actual skin that you are?
So I thought I was a prime example. Before I moved to Texas, back in Boston, I thought I was giving a caramel kind of like, you know what I mean, kind of vibe. And I moved down here and they're like, oh no, you a red bone. Like you're very like damn near white.
Like you're very fair skinned.
Very fair skinned. And I never like considered myself fair. I was like, no, I'm giving caramel. Like caramel that's been on a stove. And they're like, you're not even caramel, babe. So I think I see myself darker than when I actually am.
Okay, same. So I recently discovered, I think I recently discovered this.
Yeah, Jay, because you
So when I was in Vegas, I left some of my makeup and I was like, let me just go to Target real quick. And I was picking up shades and I'm like, okay, that's too dark. All right, that's too dark. But I just so happened to be on the phone with my mom.
Yeah.
And I started telling her. But I think the thing for me is like majority of my family is very, very fair skinned. Like my mom,
lighter than me, y'all.
Yeah, like my mom is like lighter than Khadijah, and so is my sister, like aunts, cousins, my grandmother, like everybody. But it's also because I think like my great grandmother is like white or something like that, or
like from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I mean, like that has a lot to do with it, but also like genes wise, they all look just to like, and then I look just like my dad. So I think genes wise also like I just pulled from my dad's side. Yeah. Like my grandmother and my dad's side, we're like the same skin tone. But I think just growing up around them, because you know how it is, you spend more time like with your mom's side of the family. And so growing up around them, and my mom like got teased for being so fair skinned. And so she said she would like pray every night while she was pregnant. Like, I hope my baby is chocolate. So she would always like, that was just a phrase, like my chocolate baby, my chocolate baby. So nigga, I thought I was chocolate. Like, which I don't think I'm far off, but I also have noticed that my face is a lot lighter than my body.
You're not that dark, Jay.
But my face is lighter than my body is. Like in the summertime too, like when I get a tan, I have like a red undertone, but I turn like very, very brown. And so, I just like, my mom was like, you're really not that far from me. And I was like, now you're kind of pushing it. But then she took a screenshot of us together, like on FaceTime. Yeah. And I was like, damn, we were like,
you're not, I'm telling you, you're not that dark.
But I think that I remember in college, I took a class, I don't remember what it was, but like my minor was Afro-American studies. So I mean, I went to Howard. Like, we talking about
No,
black.
no. Say it loud and proud, please.
We talking about black shit all the time.
Yeah.
And so we started having a conversation in class one day, and it started coming up for everybody. And we kind of came to the realization that, like, depending on how you grow up and the people that you grow up around, that has like a strong like impact on the way that you view yourself.
That's valid.
And that probably was the first time I realized it, but also it just got placed in the back of my head. And I was just like, damn,
that's and it's crazy to me because I think, and we had this conversation on the no clearance, one of our sessions of like, obviously there's colorism in the black community, but it's like very apparent in the Hispanic community as well. Like, I mean, like, bad. Like, my mom is darker than me, and not to say like, yeah, my mom is darker than me, but she'll say things that's like, girl, you like, she'll be like, oh no, I'm not black like that. And it's like what? And when a Hispanic says that, they mean like they're not a Negro. They like don't identify or don't align with that. And this is not like, my mom wasn't the first Hispanic I've ever heard say that, but to hear her say that, it's like, you, like, I've seen your hair in its natural state. Like, you and Harriet are aligned. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are cool. No, for real. I think
I seen a lady in Target, and it caught me off guard because she was with two Hispanic people.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see her body. I just saw her hair.
Yeah.
And so she started talking, and then when I walked past the aisle, I was like, oh, she's Hispanic. But it threw me off because her hair texture was like, it was curly, but it was coarse curly.
And those be the main ones, like, no, I'm not black. And it's like, I need you to kind of get out of that slave mentality. We were all on the ship. We just got off at different stops.
Hey, they dropped us all different places. Or your people swim this way and mine swim over here.
But we're all, and I think that's a irritation I have, especially like when you have, so it's a double-edged sword, right? You have a darker Hispanics who are like, oh, I know black. And then you have the light skin. You have the light skinned Hispanics who are like, they are white passing. And so I know I have cousins that will literally like look very much blue eyes. Like, you would think they're Caucasian if they don't open their mouth. And they get offended when people call them white. But I also know there are Hispanics that like are offended if you don't call them white. So it's just interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever looked and some of the kids, or like when you look at your data, like we use like a software system called Aware, and it's where like most of the kids
and that is
data.
So
and it'll be like the white percentage, and it'll be like 38%. You're like, but I don't teach no white kids. And it's like, I remember asking that like my first or second year. I was like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, if I don't have white kids, like, where's this coming from? And they're like, they either didn't select the race when they registered, or they chose white. And they're like, some Hispanics like prefer to identify as white. And I was like, bro, that is crazy to me.
It's so cringy to me.
But I think for us it's different because, like you said, like they kind of have this choice like of pathway. Yeah. And for us it's like, no, I'm black and I'm proud to be black. Yeah. And they just, I don't know, like, it's just society weird. In America kind of makes you choose. Like, no, are you white or are you black? Yeah. And if you're not one of those, okay, well, which one do you identify more closely with? Shit, I probably would choose white too.
I'm about to start putting white, because why can't we?
Riddle me that. Transracial. Is that a thing?
And who are you to tell me I'm not white?
Rachel Dolezal did.
Right? She had the braids, the whole nine. Now I don't want nothing but the name. I don't need, other things.
Oh, kind of, right? Heat damage, the curls out.
Hey, speaking of white, did you hear about the Mayo oil thing?
Yeah, did you see who's
She looks
white?
instantly irritated.
Because it's like, what are you doing, bro?
No business. And the price is going up on the joint. And I think that's what irritates me.
I think for me, I got instantly irritated because it's like, I'm gonna be so for real. Your hair already looking oily because you didn't wash it in 3 days.
And that's fine. You already got natural oils. What do you need? You know what I mean?
It's not fine because you need to go wash it. But
make sure that's not my business nor my Mayo oil
It is, because I don't want to smell that. I'm going to be so for real. So kind of blow dry it, you know what I mean, after you wash it.
Oh, God.
But don't do that. Like, you just didn't need to do that. Girl, I was so irritated. I think you told me that. And I was just like, what? And when I saw it, I was like, huh?
Like, I mean, selling it out. Like I always, when I buy my Mael oil, I buy 2. Cause I already know it's like a hit or miss. Like you might
I don't
see.
like that brand. I don't
Why not?
particularly care for any hair care brand on the market for Black women.
Ooh, say more. You got to say more.
I hate Cantu. It's watery.
Oh, Cantu's horrible though.
I hate.
That's for a motherfucker that's like, ooh, I'm natural hair journey, girl. No, you're not.
I hate Shea Moisture. I think
they
their
have some
products
hair masks that are good, but they're a hit and miss for me as well.
Yeah, pretty watery. Carol's daughter sucked for me.
You know what? That was also my hair got so. You know what it is? My hair got adjusted to that too fast. Like I'm a firm believer you got to switch products. You can't just use the same product. But my hair got like immune to it too fast. And
I feel like you can use the same one, but you have to just find what works for you. And honestly, like there's a girl, she's from Cincinnati, so I was just like, let me try it because I just saw a lot of people talking about it. This probably at this point maybe it was like 3 years ago or something. I think I started off using like the hair oil.
Yeah.
And I ended up just using all her products, but she's a licensed cosmetologist, and she just kind of started looking into like the science of stuff and like what works. I mean, and I use her stuff, but like anything that's like on the market, like in Target or Walmart or something, like I truly be hating it. And I've been natural. Like, I mean, it's so funny because people would tell me when I was in like my senior year, when I found out I was going to Howard, like, why is Jalen gonna come back? She gonna be so proud to be Black and natural hair. And I was like, girl, I'm never going natural. Got there, definitely went natural. So at this point, I've been natural for like, you know what I mean? Like almost probably like 8 or 9 years or something like that. But I've never
That's a
found
long time.
Yeah.
People break that first year. Because that first year being natural, first of all, being natural is like, it's expensive as fuck. I'm not going to hold you.
And trying to do that in college, bro, it was so bad. Like I ended up.
Because the products are so expensive, bro.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you buy them and you don't know if they going to hit.
Yeah.
So you're really gambling with the product.
And then we would have like, I mean, it's Howard. So like people would come and set up like in our little student center or whatever, and they giving out samples, and it's like, oh, this do work good. And then I go to Target and I'm trying to buy the shampoo and conditioner, and it's $50. I don't have 50 to spend on it. Like, I'm so sorry.
No, we got to be so for real.
So
that's like a meal and some change.
Yeah, it was hard. Like the first year, my hair looks crazy, and then like
because you're also figuring it out. Was that first year? That was the transition period, right?
Yeah. And I also was like, well, I don't want to cut all my hair off, which I end up doing anyway. But then I got a relaxer when I cut it off because I had like a pixie cut.
Ooh, and it's almost like a pixie cut you have to. If you want it to last.
Yeah, I mean, you need it to lay down.
Yeah.
Like if, any moisture hit it, even like humidity, it rains or something, it would have been over.
Oh,
so I was just like, just forget it, cut it off. And then when it grew out.
She said, never mind, forget it.
Yeah, like, when it grew out, I just went back natural. I mean, it took a long time to even figure out. Like, I feel like there's still stuff that I don't know. Yeah. Like, I know I need to get, a trim. I know I need to like.
I've watched this YouTuber, and she was talking about, I think it's density and something else. Like, basically, does your water.
Oh, porosity or something.
Yeah. Does your hair like absorb water, or does it not take in water? And then there's certain things you need to do if your hair doesn't take in water, or if your hair takes in too much water.
Yeah, you could like do the test, which I did it before, but I was like, okay, well, now what? Like, they'll tell you how to do the test. They don't tell you what you need to get, you know what I mean? Based on what your results are.
I don't think I've ever done the test.
Yeah, you just like pull a strand out, get a cup of water, and see if your hair floats. Does it go to the middle or does it go to the bottom?
Ooh, I'm going to do that.
Okay, but we kind of need to figure out like what happens after. Like, right. What does that mean?
Because I'm sure if you look it up, can you find products that are...
Yeah, they have that. Like, they have like, you can get like a high porosity line from like certain brands.
And something's telling me it's not $1, right?
But something's also telling me it's the same, right? If I got high and you got low, something telling me if I check the products the ingredients on the back, it's gonna be the same.
Right. So
or
what
you're
are we really
lying.
Doing? Yeah. Have you ever been to like a natural hair salon?
Yeah, they have. So there's a girl on Instagram, Eclectic Vibes, and she's really good. Like, if you go on her page, like, you literally could just get lost on her page just going through, because she like talks about how like she gives the hair all this love. And so I was just so happy to be able to book with her.
I know. Bro, that's right.
I was hot. I
Why?
got I think I got a perm rod set.
Okay.
It was beautiful.
Okay.
But Houston is so humid. And then I got it for Thanksgiving. By the time I got in the car, I had a fro. Like literally, bro, I'll show you pictures, but like it was so pretty, so bouncy, so curly. Like the curls was boop, you pull them out, and
shrink back.
Yeah. Bro, and I got in the car and I ended up having to put my hair in a puff. And like the puff was so cute because it had like, curls.
Little peaks of it, yeah.
But like 2 something gone. Because she's not cheap. You know what I mean? She's literally one of the best natural hairstylists in Houston. Like she got like thousands of followers. That
kind of drove me insane.
I was high. And that just made me like, I feel like I haven't yet to find a natural hairstylist that can truly, truly deal with my hair. Like at this point when I'm going to the salon, which also I feel like I'm like hair inclined. Like
you're heavily hair inclined.
Like I can, you know what I mean?
She goes to the salon to just, I'm just self-care because she could do it herself.
Yeah, like the only time I go to the salon is like to get like a wash and a trim.
Yeah.
But other
Have
than
you
that,
cut your own hair before?
Yeah. I used to literally cut on my hair when I got bored. And that was like 7th, 8th grade. Like cutting bangs. Like
okay, I saw this Yaz commercial. And Yaz was like a birth control commercial. And I think I was maybe 8th grade or 9th grade. And the girl was just like, I'm so free because now I'm on Yaz. And she cut herself some bangs.
Too short.
And I was just like, no, her bangs came out nice. I was like, bitch, give me the fucking scissors. I could do that. Got scissors. And at the time, I didn't know my mom had hair scissors. My mom is hair inclined. So my blowouts and all that, like my mom used to, cook it up. So I got her hair scissors and I was like, and when I tell you.
Straight across, right?
When it sticking up, I cut it too short and I didn't realize like, oh my God. And I remember going to school the next day. And this is why I think people having black female teachers are important.
I've never I didn't have black female. I had one in preschool.
What?
I had one in 5th grade. And I didn't have another one until my senior year.
Huh? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Shout out to, first of all, Miss Miles. She held it down. I came to school. It was just like, and she was like, no, baby, come. We got to go to the bathroom and pin that up. You've never, what?
Yeah, like literally. But it's crazy though, because I remember all of them. Like in preschool, it was like a Montessori style. So we called them by their first name. But her name was Danny. Yeah. I mean, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
Montessori is supposed to be like, it's not about like, oh, that I'm like over you as your teacher. The learning environment is supposed to be like open and exploratory and like everyone here is equal. So like in your classroom, it's not grades, it's by like age grouping. So like, it's like,
literally sounds like a nightmare. We're all just going to feel the grass.
Well, I feel like it's definitely for certain types of kids. So like my class was 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, but it was really just like 6 through 9 age gap.
Oh, okay.
And so like when we have small group time, that's like your learning time with the teacher. But other than that, it's like the math corner, which is probably like these 3 walls, and they all have like shells and different math manipulatives. And like you might have like problems that you need to do. It's like stations basically.
Oh, that's the whole school day?
Yeah. And
okay, I don't think I'd be mad at that.
It's like these are the things that you need to get done though by the end of the day. So like there's a circle at the beginning of the day, a circle at the end, and you just know like, hey, these are the things we need to talk about, but you need to get this done by the end of the day. It was a vibe for me, but that's because I've always loved school. But I also know people that like have went through Montessori,
and it was just not a vibe for them.
No, because they need the structure. Like
that's
kids are different. But anyways, so I had Danny. And I remember her.
It's the first name for me.
Yeah.
Dan.
I had Danny, Myth, Michelle. I remember all of them. But like, yeah, we called them by their first name. But Danny, I remember her nails. I used to be so excited to go to work the next day. I mean, to go to school the next day so I could see Danny's nails. I was like in her wedding and everything. She loved me so bad. Yeah. And then I had Miss Booker. Miss Booker was just not a good representation for like a black woman educator.
Say more.
she like literally did not know how to do the math that we were doing. Like I remember there would be times she would be
I'm
like,
gonna be honest. I'm teaching myself how to do the chip model.
all right, but like you kind of get it down, and when you get in front of kids, you're still confident. That was not there. She would literally get up with her teacher edition. She would tell us like, all right, turn to page 89. We turn to 89. She's in the back trying to find the answer. You know how the back of our textbook is have an answer. She in the back trying to find it. We used to be like,
cringe.
We used to be like, it was so many times where somebody would be like, that's not the answer.
That I'm so sorry. As a teacher, you got to kind of know your stuff.
And in fifth grade, it's like multiplication.
5th grade?
Yeah, we was in 5th grade.
No, that's like heavy duty. You got to have that down pat.
Yeah, no. And then my senior year of high school, I had Miss Berry. She was my English teacher.
Yeah.
And then I had my high school counselor, who was a black woman. But they both would like talk in third person. It was very strange.
What do you mean they both would talk in third person?
Like Miss Mosley was our counselor. So I remember this one day very vividly. She was like trying to figure out how to do something on her like BlackBerry or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like I was coming to ask her like a college question, like about a waiver for application fee or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was asking her about that actually. And she was like, help Miss Mosley figure out how to do blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you help Miss Mosley, then she'll give you a waiver for your next application. Like, but everything she said was like Miss Mosley. It was never like me, I
find that so strange. When I catch myself doing it, I'm like, ew. It's weird.
It's weird to do all the time. Like,
yeah,
I
like,
get it
that's
doing it
now
with our
you're
kids.
like that's a character trait for you. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, it was very weird.
It's like,
So
where are the cameras? Are you like?
Yeah, those were my black.
That's insane. I've had, I think the teachers that were monumental in my life, I would definitely say I had them. My sixth to eighth year or school career was definitely monumental. I think I only remember I think her name was Miss Robertson in elementary school. Old black lady. She had this neck.
Has to make that face.
She had this neck with like all these moles and stuff. And
That's
she was just
glottal. I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what we used to say.
Oh, I don't know. But she was just I've never met somebody so mean. Like just so miserable. But I mean, now I'm kind of tuning in, right? Because if her check
tired,
because if her check kind of looking like my check, I get it, sis.
No, it didn't look like your check because it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was.
And she was in the game for a bit of time. You know what I mean? She wasn't a young chicken.
So it wasn't 2023. Her check didn't look like yours. Trust me, she was tired.
Miss, what's her name? I think Miss Robinson, I think.
No, you need to kind of find her on Facebook.
I need to find her. Oh, my God. And so the teachers in my middle school career that were, like, monumental for me was Miss Miles. She was my first, like, black teacher that I enjoyed. She was very much so, like, you know how we talk to the kids, that quote-unquote auntie talk? Like, she was very much so, like, well, give me the real and be like, no, you need to get it together. Because you think that's cute, not, like, being in class. Getting sent out to the office, you think that like people think that's funny? Like she would read you, but it was like in a place of literally us, but like but like when we were like students, back then. And then Mr. Wright was that like male figure in my life.
He was
black.
I've never had a black male teacher,
and he was my math teacher, and I feel like this is why I have like a love for math, because before him I hated math. I didn't understand math. I didn't get it, and I was just like, it's dumb. Like, when am I gonna use this? He was the first teacher to be like, I'm going to tell you why you need algebra. And he'd be like, you need to be able to calculate your check. Once we start talking money, now I'm kind of tuning in, right? He's like, you need to use this like formula to figure out, okay, how much am I going to get paid? You could predict your check. You can predict how long it is going to take for you to make X, Y, and Z. Like, he just gave me like the real life connection. Yeah, which nobody before him ever gave me. And so I was just like not tuning in.
Yeah.
The other two teachers that were monumental. Oh, I had Mr. Lester, who was my dean of students. And to the point, I was that kid getting sent out all the time because of my mouth. My mouth was crazy. I could say it. And I think they know, like, I'm kind of getting, like, my portion of that with my kiddos. My mouth went crazy. I would just always have a response. If I got a demerit for a pencil, I'm like, I was good for the sucking the teeth, rolling the eyes. Oh, but, you know, so what am I supposed to do? I would always have something to say. Right. So I was always in Mr. Lester's office to the point where him and my brother were like cool. Like they would work out at the same gym. Like, yeah. So Mr. Lester was monumental too, because he was like, you gotta you can't, as a black child, you just can't live like this.
Yeah.
It's just like, they're not, he was like, this is obviously a safe space, but he was like, the outside world's not going to treat you like we're going to treat you. So
did you always want to be a teacher?
I knew I wanted to be a teacher in 7th grade. Like when I started having difficulty with math, and I was like, no, I need help. And Mr. Wright was like, no, I'll stay after school and help you.
So you think he's the reason you want to be a teacher?
I would. It's a mixture of Miss Miles, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Doublefoot, Mr. Santos. Mr. Doublefoot, Mr. Santos are white men. Well, white presenting, I would say. Mr. Santos was Portuguese, so I don't know if he considers himself white.
I heard most people don't, that are not from the U.S. Like they're saying like, no, I'm not white, I'm Portuguese.
Oh, so then he would probably identify as Portuguese.
You remember their first names?
Yes. Simone, Miss Miles. K-Ron, right? Adam Dobervold.
K-Ron.
That was easy. And
K-Ron is taking it to
the hoop always. Wow, I don't know Mr. Santos's first name. Mr. Santos was my history teacher. He played, we watched Passion of the Christ. So he was
really?
that, like,
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he was that edgy teacher that, like, you definitely knew he got in trouble, like, after showing us some shit like that.
Yeah, he didn't care.
But he gave us the real. Like, he was the one drinking tea at recess, playing the guitar, just like vibing with the wind. You know what I mean? Like literally a free spirit.
That's so cool.
Like would come to school like, yeah, I just swam at the Y, took a shower, now I'm here ready to teach y'all. I'm like, cool.
Oh, I had a history. You said history?
Yeah, he was our social history teacher.
Bro, I had a history teacher that would run marathons, and he ran a triathlon.
Isn't that like running, biking, swimming?
Bro, but it's hella long. Like he literally.
I have undiagnosed asthma, but I'm not.
Bro, he literally ran the triathlon in Greece. Like it was a huge deal. Yeah, he was like on the news. Like it was a really big deal that like somebody from Cincinnati went to run the triathlon in Greece. And when he came back, he was like telling us about it, and he said that like something happened with like basically he got delirious because he got so tired because it took so long.
Because you're exerting so much energy.
Yeah, like he said he like started to see stuff. He was like hallucinating. Like he basically, I don't think he finished because he had to like, they had to bring like an emergency car to like come and like make sure.
That's a lot though that you're putting on your body.
But he would do stuff like that all the time. Like he would like, hey y'all, I'm not going to be here because I'm going to run a marathon and like blah, blah,
That was
blah.
Mr. Santos. Literally.
What's up? Like,
or
what's
you
up
would
with
see him
teachers?
running around like before the school or after school. He'll have his like run stuff.
Yeah, he
on.
started a run club, bro. We ran from our school like
I don't think I ever joined a run club
to the Ohio River. We did that one time. I was like, my mom.
How far is that? Like more than a mile?
Oh yeah, it probably was like
no, ma'am.
Maybe like 4 or 5 miles total. Which I mean, we didn't do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know, I've always been the chubby kid. I was like, hey, Mr. Lewis, like I need you to kind of slow down.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, can we do a walk?
I was like, no, I'll meet y'all down there. Like I know where it's at.
I will meet you down. I swear.
I won't lose sight of you. Just stay straight. Like
yeah. Don't take no lefts or rights.
I'll see you. No, but what I was about to say, what I think you should do is like try to find them on Facebook.
I have Miss Miles on Facebook.
Have you ever reached out to her and told her like how impactful she was?
Oh, she knows. Like any opportunity I get to like big her up or them up, they like their name is the first names that come to my head.
So I remember my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. McGinnis. Her name was Jennifer McGinnis. She was so good at her job, bro. Like I remember we went to on a field trip to the nursing home. I don't know who chose that.
What?
I don't know why we went there.
Okay.
It was around the holidays. No, it was around the holidays. I think maybe like around Halloween or something. And they said,
"Well, you're done. Good for you."
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know what you were talking. That makes sense. But she told us like it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna be really nice to them. And if you get nervous, all you have to do is smile. So if you think about from like the people at the nursing home perspective, like, oh my God, look at these like nice, cute kids, and actually we're petrified.
Scared.
I've always been scared of old people, but they say you either like kids or old people.
I love old people. They're like super adorable.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I can't wait to get old because they can say whatever the hell they want. I volunteered at a nursing home before. Because in high school they made you
do that.
You had to do community hours, And so I volunteered at a nursing home. And when I tell you, me and Ethel, thick as thieves, they can say whatever. Like, it doesn't, like, what are you going to say to Nana and Papa?
Nah, they can, but that kind of irritates me too. Cause who is you talking to? Like, I don't care if you 80.
Like, they could just do, they're the epitome of just smoking a cig. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're literally just catching vibes.
No, I don't care if you 80. Like, kind of watch how you approach me. Cause my Nana didn't talk to me like that.
They just, it's just whatever. Like, my grandmother was off the chain towards the end of her life. She didn't give a fuck. She was going for the jugular. Like,
well, I think my family is all like that. Like, even my little sisters, like,
just off the rip.
Yeah, it's real bad. Like, I'm probably, and I know it's crazy because my friends probably don't see that side of me. Mm-hmm. Or my friends probably do see that side of me, like, way more than my family would. Mm-hmm. But I'm probably the most, like, level-headed. Not probably. I'm the most level-headed person in my family.
Okay, I can see that.
Like, when I say they are off the hook, bro. Like, I would never take nobody to Cincinnati because there's just nothing to do there. Like, it would literally have to be like a weekend trip because you would see everything that you needed to see. It's very small. But I be wanting people to see, like, no, this is where I came from. Like,
Jalen put me on to game. I didn't realize the proximity of Cincinnati and Kentucky.
Yeah, so Cincinnati, people don't realize, because I think when people think of Ohio, you think like cornfields and nothingness.
Yeah, I also think it's like way far up than it actually is.
Yeah, and so there's like the Ohio River that separates Ohio and Kentucky, but we are on the border, and so we sit on the Ohio River, and the Ohio River was like considered freedom, and Kentucky was considered the South, so we're considered like the North. But like the southernmost north, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
And so if they could get, the current is like very strong, but if slaves could get across the river, they were considered free. And so, yeah, it's like, it's so cool insane. Historically. It's like we have something called like the Underground Railroad Freedom Center. Mm-hmm. And it was like a huge deal when they first opened because they found like an actual slave pen and they had like real chains and like would show us how it was a lot even as a kid because you could just kind of feel, you could always feel the energy. Like my best friend.
Especially in museums like that, like that's heavy.
Yeah. But I mean, kind of growing up somewhere, you don't realize stuff like that until, you get older.
That's
so wild. Yeah.
Bro. Oof. Yeah, I feel the same way about Boston. You could do Boston in a weekend.
Like, there's nothing to see here.
There's nothing. I mean, and if you go to Boston, it's like you're going for like, oh, the leaves are changing, or you're going for like a sporting event.
Yeah.
And like things like that are cool. The clubbing, the night scene is like not really a scene. It's really like a second.
Yeah, because there's one place that everybody goes because it's so small.
And I feel like, and this is what I've told my friends back home, is like the thing I love about Houston nightlife is that like there's so many options for us.
That's what I say.
Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like if you are a black person in Houston, like the world
any
is your
person.
oyster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
it's
when
truly
I think
a melting
of back
pot.
home, it's not. We don't have a lot of places for us to like hang out and be at, or it's like we'll have 2 or 3.
Yeah, I feel like at home for me, there's a lot more for white people to do. Yeah. But like for us, I mean, there's a few options and like there's starting to be more, but it would never compare to like here or like Atlanta. When you think black, like that's what you think of. Yeah. Where it's so much to do, you don't even know what to do.
What a time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wanted to get to this. I wrote it on my phone. So
smart.
I think I have 2 off the top of my head that I can mention. So Jalen is a big, and how can I compare this? Okay,
the way you to do this.
The way I feel about Beyonce, and like you, like no slander is tolerated around me. You will be asked to leave or be escorted by
Beyonce
somebody.
is regular.
She's gonna go in a second. The way I feel about Beyonce is the way she feels, because she knows she's out of pocket. The way I feel about Beyonce is the way she feels about Lil Wayne. And like, I think we were somewhere and somebody had said something about his dreads. And I was just like, man, it's like, you know, when your friend about to kind of go off, it's just like,
why do you have to say that?
You know what I mean? It's
like,
just
he made a choice to do that to his hair, and he wanted freeform locks. He didn't ask you.
Furthermore, like, why do it around Jalen? Like, cool. If she's not around,
you wanted to get a rise out of me, my nigga. And you really, you took it there, and now I'm about to really take it there. That man don't bother nobody.
He literally doesn't.
He always says that though, like in interviews, like he
very to himself.
Yeah, like he don't even know what's going on in the world. Because you got to think of like when he came up, it was like, no, you need to put your all into your music. So that's what he knows and what he does. Mm-hmm. Like people have to tell him what's happening in the world. He doesn't know because he doesn't care about like social media. And shit.
I know that's fucking right. Oh, I have it on my computer. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna finish that lyrics. The lyric. Okay. So let's find it. Also, my computer's like super far.
Be so for real. My brain is not set up for this right now.
Okay. First one. Okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin?
Wait, I'm supposed to do what's after that?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna stop it. Okay, no, you're a goon.
No, you're supposed to finish.
Wait, you're not good at this.
I'm really not. I was like, I tried.
Where's the teacher model?
I'm like, okay.
Come on, bro. Next one. That was terrible.
Okay.
I know that's from 6 foot, 7 foot.
Okay. My criteria compared to your career.
Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. I'm reading.
My criteria compared to your career just isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease, like a minstrel. Lead through the pit, so elite on the sheet of the talent in my mind. Cause I don't write shit, cause I ain't got time.
Hey, okay.
You can't see, bro.
I really can't, bro. Ever since I started wearing glasses again, this is like really bad. Okay, one time, fuck one time.
What?
I'm calling niggas out.
She reading like our students,
this is really
bro.
our relationship. I need y'all to know.
Come on, turn the thing around.
Okay, no. One time, fuck one time. I'm calling niggas out like the.
Why are you saying it like
that? Bro, I really wrote it like that. I didn't finish it.
What song is that? I can't hear the beat because you're one time, fuck one time.
Hold on, it's like one time, but one time. I'm calling niggas out like the
Oh, 7 grams in the butt. Almost drowned in her. So I swam to her butt. Each side. We in this bitch. Let me tell y'all what I did one time for my birthday since we're talking about Lil Wayne. So I wanted to go to New Orleans because that's where Lil Wayne from. And I was like, no, nigga, like, I want to stay in 17th floor. Like, I want to stay in the ghetto, right? So I found an Airbnb in New Orleans in 17th floor, in Holly Grove. It was ghetto.
You stayed there?
Yeah.
Hey, how was that?
It was lit as fuck because I was like, bro, I made my friends, like, we wasn't doing shit. We had just got back because I had never been to New Orleans before. So we had just got back from, like being on bourbon and all that shit. And niggas was drunk. They was high. Like, we was like catching a vibe.
Out of here, yeah.
And I was like, hey, like, we about to get in the car and go to the corner Apple and Eagle. That's where this nigga used to sell drugs. And I was like, Jalen, I don't think we should do this in the middle of the night. And I was like, no, we're going to go. And I have a highlight on my Instagram. It just was I was crying. I started crying. When I see him, I almost cry. When I see him in concert, I almost cry. Like, it never come out, but I almost cry. Like, I'll cry right now.
I don't know how to explain to you. It's like a rush. Do you know what I mean? I know when I hear.
I also think that you feel it more. I think we feel it more because we're musically inclined.
Heavy. So we know like the work
that
motherfuckers got to put into
to give the type of show that they give. Because that's another thing. Like, I've been to hella concerts in my life, but there's like, I feel like I have like a top 5 based on like concert. Because like you said, I know the work ethic, but I also, you know the work ethic by like their discography, I feel like. But also like the work that they put in to give you this show. And then when you think about like, this not their first show, it's not the second. When you on a tour, you might be 13th, you might be 20th, and you know you got the same show that the first people got and the 5th people got. and that the last people gonna get.
Very true.
And so I feel like Beyonce and Lil Wayne are definitely on that list. Chris Brown is on that list. Jay-Z is on that list.
Can we pause right there? I get kind of a little bit worked up when motherfuckers don't give Chris his credit. I don't know if y'all remember his first album. I'm talking about Poppin', Yo, excuse me, miss. Like that album for your freshman album, front to back, that album was crazy.
Especially because he wanted to be a rapper.
And I feel like that's the other thing too. Like I had this argument with somebody during Thanksgiving of like, they're like, oh well, Chris Brown's overrated. No, he's not. What? First of all, Chris Brown has touched every genre of music except I think country and smashed it. He had that period of techno. He was owning techno at one point in time.
Yeah.
He obviously killed R&B. Kills pop. Like this man, there's nothing he can't do. There was a period
he can dance his ass off.
I think he had a period where he was doing a lot of mixtapes and he did some collabs with Wayne.
Yeah.
And he can spit too. Like, why are we not giving? And I get it. Like, I'm not going to belittle his situation with Rihanna, but I'm a firm believer if the victim or the person who was like in a situation can move on, then we have no business holding on to that still.
And I just and this I feel like is very controversial, and I don't have this conversation with a lot of people because I feel like they don't agree. But like, there reaches a point where you have to separate a person from their art.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It just, like you said, like the work ethic that this man puts in
every show
versus that situation. Like, we can't take this away from him because of,
and it's like, it has to expire. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he was punished enough.
And it can't, I think I get bothered by situations. And that's why, like, on social media, I don't ever speak out on social issues. One, I don't give a damn. It literally has nothing to do with me. I'm still going to struggle to pay my bills every month, right? Because I'm still just trying to make it happen in a classroom in Houston. Like, you don't care about me. But I don't know. Like, that just like truly bothers me that y'all speak on it when it's one person and you feel so strongly. But then somebody else, oh, well, we got to get them a pet. No, like, the situation is a situation.
For sure.
That bothers me so bad. I'm so bothered by that.
I think I think we've had a conversation about this. Like, we're in this era of, like, the cancel culture. Like, it don't take nothing for motherfuckers to cancel you.
Yeah.
Like, you say some shit crazy in 05, niggas is pulling that up in 23. Like, you got to.
And it's like, you're not thinking about the fact, like, if that was for us, like, bro, I was 11. You holding that against me? My brain is just fully developed a couple years ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't even fully developed at that point.
Don't worry about it. So, yeah, anyways, Chris Brown definitely a top 5 performance. And then the last person on the list is Drake.
I
went to Drake versus Lil Wayne, bro. Hey,
that?
My freshman year homecoming was the year that 2 Chainz brought Drake out. So Howard Homecoming is like a huge thing. But I'm trying to think who I was there. It was like Meek Mill and T.I., but they came after the fact, and it started raining, and I left because my hair was probably.
Was it outside?
Yeah, it's always outside.
Oh yeah, no.
So I was like, I'm good.
Gotta blast.
I don't even remember who was there before that, but I just remember 2 Chainz kept saying like, "I'm gonna give y'all minutes to take y'all phones out. Everybody better take your phone out because y'all gonna want to see this." We was like, shit, we don't know who coming out. I'm gonna take my phone.
But he hyping it, so you know what somebody be.
Bro, Drake came out. When I say these niggas bum rush the stage, and I was in the front. Like, luckily I wasn't in a part where they start trampling because they was trying to get on the stage. And it was like Drake had just hit that peak of like Drake.
His climb.
And so he wasn't even used to that. And literally, like, if you could find a right clip, like on YouTube or something, he was like.
So, and that's Howard. That's just Howard. That's his reaction at Howard. Can you imagine?
And then he snapped back into it. He was like, hey, y'all got to calm down or they're going to make me leave. Like, I need y'all to calm down. I promise I'm going to, you know what I mean? Give y'all a couple of songs, give y'all a show, but like, y'all have to calm down or they're going to make me leave. But yeah, that was the first time I ever seen Drake.
What?
Yeah. And then before that, well, that same year, like a couple months before that, I went to Lil Wayne. It was Sorry for the Wait. Like, we was waiting on the Carter 4. And he handed me his drummer drumstick.
Hold on. Run it back.
I never told you that.
It was say it again.
Yeah, Lil Wayne handed me his drummer drumstick. So my aunt, since I was gonna be a teacher, my aunt asked me that I want to tutor my cousin.
Yeah.
It's just like I'll pay you like once before you start tutoring him at the beginning of the summer and then at the end. But I didn't know her plan at the end was to give me a Lil Wayne ticket. I was like, damn, I really want to go. I don't got nobody to go with. And my mom was just like, I don't think you should go by yourself. But I guess she had been planning with my aunt. Like I was actually gonna go. End of the summer, she gave me that ticket. It was in the front.
Hey,
I was in probably like the second or third
realize,
row.
Like, go experiencing things on your own is like so refreshing. Like I've been to Beyonce concerts by myself,
and I would never wait on nobody to book. I always tell my friends,
hold on, back. Ooh.
Do not ask me to book a Lil Wayne or a Drake concert ticket with you. I'm not unless you ready. You gotta be ready the
like
day it
card
drop.
in hand. Like we about to do this now.
Yeah, I'm about to Zelle you, and then you could go ahead and do whatever. Because I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna be close. I'm gonna sit wherever I want to sit. I want the full Monty. And so yeah, I was by myself, and then it was so crazy because literally like he was trying to hand it to me, and somebody else tried to reach for it. He was like,
Hey,
oh shit! I called my mama after like, yeah, I got the jumps. She was like, shut up for somebody trying to rob you. She was like, you need to hurry up and come to where I'm at. Yeah.
I know that's right. Yeah. Oh
I'll never forget that. I got old ass pictures on my Instagram. That was like 2011. I got an old ass picture on my Instagram of him handing me to. Like I was taking a picture while he was handing it to me.
Hey, I'm gonna be so fucking for real. Beyonce do that for me. I'm like, yeah, Lord, you could call me up right now.
That's why I was like, I'm good. I've lived my life.
Yeah, I've done my capacity.
My job here is done.
What?
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
It's like, I got a golden ticket.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck. I was about to start school senior year. Like, that was the best. Yeah. That was like one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Oh, my God. That's must be nice. That's my goal is ultimately I want to be able to, like, be that close to Beyonce. And that's why
so expensive for her.
Okay, but this is my...
Because that ticket was probably like $80. Like maybe like $120 or something.
This is my rationale about that. When people are like, oh, her tickets are expensive. I will say they are expensive. But this is why I, like you, I'm like, I don't do the whole, oh, I'm going to see Beyonce, come with me. Nope. Because I know I want quality seats. And so if that means I got to put down 3, I think the most I've put down for her, because that's the other thing too, is you got to think, I like to see pictures of the arena. And like I like to see their stage setup. Do you use
a view from my seat?
I think it was you and somebody else who put me onto that.
Yeah, I would never go to a concert without using it.
No, you have. I need to know, like, because you can be in a down on the floor, but then your view is trash.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be on the sides. Like I've seen her. Prime example, when I've seen her in Gillette, I know what Gillette Stadium look like. So I know like, oh, I can get this seat and I'll get a clear view. My thing is, I don't even need a lot of pictures. I don't need videos. I just like to experience it. But I also know not everybody's down to like pay that money for experience.
Yeah.
So when I pay it, I'm like, nah, I'm paying this. And I would only do that for her. Like SZA's tickets came out. And I was like, hey, I'm going to be so for real. Love her down.
Yeah.
But join her cult and not drink the Kool-Aid. But
same thing with Future. That. I was like, I wanted to go. When I was in Atlanta, he was in Atlanta. And I was like, bro, I can't. Like, I love him like so bad, but I cannot.
And I'm Future cult don't come from me. I feel like he's somebody, you see him once, that's like, you've done it.
Hey, but you know what? I ain't going to lie. He actually gives a really good show,
too.
He
does. I think the one time I saw him was when he was with the Migos back in Boston. We had to go mad far to see him, too. It was like in Mansfield. Like, it was like dumb far. It was like, I want to say it was like 2-3 hours. And we were front row because we got meet and greet tickets, too. And that's my thing. Like, when I go to a concert, depending on the artist, I'm paying, depending on the money.
Hey, Lil Wayne don't do meet and greets, because I always say that too. Like him and Drake, I'll drop whatever.
For a meet and greet, depending on the artist, I'm definitely going to give you that.
He don't do them though.
That's crazy, because he knows. Can you imagine if he did?
Bro, my thing is,
motherfuckers would have
just only have 15.
Motherfuckers would have no fucking control. I feel like that's why Beyonce had to stop doing that meet and greet shit. Motherfuckers would have no... Can you imagine, bro? I mean, some of us would like freak out and just be like, oh shit.
What's the craziest thing? How many times have you seen her?
Every time. There was one show I went to that I can remember. I think this is my first show I seen her. This is when she did, was it Dangerously in Love? This was like when she was coming out. Like she wasn't Beyonce yet. She was out there. And there was like this little stadium back home that wasn't far from my house. And it was very like, if you drive by it now, you're like, oof, you know what I mean? And I just remember it. And it's not like what it is now. But back then it was just like, wow. Like I look at up close videos, I'm like, oh, you're weak, babe. Pull it down. Just a little bit. But now I'm just like, yeah, melted. I've seen the progression with her though. Like every show has been different. Like she's never given.
Oh
like,
yeah.
When motherfuckers like, oh, she's singing the same. Yeah, but she's adding different ad libs.
And it's never going to be the same, you know.
And now she's upside down singing Baby Boy. She didn't do that last concert. Right? Now we're throwing glitter and like, ooh. I would say my favorite tour from her is Formation though. Like when she came out with the fucking hat, I've never been excited to see somebody nod in my life.
Hey, so many times too. So many times.
Yeah, when the beat dropped, I'm like, oh, y'all need to shut the fuck up because she about to come out.
Yeah, I'm about to start smacking people in here.
Yeah, I don't need to hear I need to hear her. Hey. And she was just like, and it was like, it felt like forever that she was bobbing. I was like, all right, B, come on, because we don't got that much time. And she just, and the choreo, don't get me started. I need her to come out with visuals though.
Do you cry when you see her?
Yes.
You be crying?
Mm.
I be about to cry, but it just never come out.
But it don't be like, it be like a.
Oh no, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna let it flow. But it never come out.
It's just I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Like I think your point is right on the like being musically inclined and just knowing like
you could feel what they put it into it. I think that'd be the thing
like
for me.
You're doing hours of rehearsal,
and both of them was so young coming in. I think that's the thing for me too.
How old was Lil Wayne when he first came out?
Bro, like 11.
That's crazy, bro. 11.
Like he always talk about like he was going to school. He had like.
I think, okay, I know this. His mom told him to drop out because it was getting too dangerous.
Yeah, like, because he going to school. He got money on him. He got cars. His niggas coming to pick him up in Benzes and limos from middle school and high school.
Especially in that area where he was living at too.
Yeah, like, so yeah. But I remember
that's crazy,
he did like
11?
Yeah. So think about it. He like in his 40s.
Hey, I really just want to name
he about to be 41.
Lil Wayne features, because motherfuckers be like, oh, he's only good on. No, his features go crazy. Like, if you get a Lil Wayne feature, you're signed. You're delivered. You're good. Because I also feel like he's not an artist to just be jumping on. You know what I mean? Damn, that 11, bro. I think I sent it to you. There's a video where he was like, oh, who wrote that?
Yeah. He said sometimes he have to make sure, like, he have to check the internet to make sure he didn't say something already. Because he was like, he can, like, kind of see, or you know what I mean? Like, he can hear, like, oh, this sound good together.
Yeah.
But since he don't write shit down, he was like, it just cloud his brain. So he have to record every day to basically, like, clear his head. Like, get whatever lyrics out his head or shit that he's seen or whatever. And sometimes he have to check and make sure he hasn't said something before. That's not sometimes. He was like often. And then he said like he went to Jimmy Kimmel, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like a joke for him that they had printed out the lyrics. He was like, I thank y'all because like with new music, I don't be remembering it. Like after I say it, it'd be like.
Yeah, because you're going off the top. You just flowing the flow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Bro, I remember one time he did like a 4-city tour and Houston was one of them. And I definitely called in to work and you had to like get to the location by like, I don't know. It was like basically it was only a certain amount of tickets because it was like at the House of Blues, which is really small. Mm-hmm. And then it was like you had to go to the Sprint store to get your tickets, which was cool because I had Sprint. It was like, hey, but if you get VIP, it's a certain amount of these. And then it's like the rest is the regular tickets. Yeah. And I definitely switched my plan in that line while I was waiting. I was pretty close to the front. And I got VIP. And I was close to them then too. Like, I've done crazy stuff. I remember I went to Louisiana Fest. I drove to New Orleans and drove back the same day. Yeah. Like, I've done crazy stuff for Lil Wayne.
I can't even judge because I wouldn't say that I wouldn't do the same for Beyonce. Yeah. Like, and I'm excited now. I live in Houston because I think before it was just like but like you said, like, like every show she's giving 100. But you knew, like, Houston, she giving a little more love. So I'm excited this go around. Yeah, I'm tuning in. I need her to kind of like, not too much so, but I'm tuning in.
I don't know if I want to go see her this time. I went to see On the Run too. I took my mom and my sister. First of all, stayed crazy amount.
That was, first of all, I was
happy that I went.
I really slept on Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until I went to On the Run.
I was like, bro, I'm probably sit down there.
Man, we just going for B or whatever.
But you don't realize how many hits he got either.
And the hits that just because it's been like out there so much.
Yeah.
And like when he did, I think Song Cry, that's when I cried.
Yeah.
Because I think it was either before or after she did Resentment. And I was just like, damn, like, wow.
What a great show. Even my sister, she didn't really she knew who Beyonce was, but just kind of like because of the hype that's, that surrounds Beyonce. But like, she literally was up, and she's musically inclined too, though.
Yeah,
and she loves music. And so, I think she was like 6 or 7. She was just happy that like, oh, my sister got us these tickets. We in Chicago. Like, this is fun or whatever. But, she literally stood on her feet like almost the whole concert, and at some point she fell asleep, and I was like, we probably gonna have to go. Like, I hate that we gonna have to miss the rest. Bro, she woke right back up and got up dancing. The people around us was hollering, laughing. But like, I was like, when kids, you know what I mean, can like feel it and experience too, it's truly a vibe.
I really, but I get when people are like, oh, I could see her once. I think Rihanna's supposed to come out with something, and I feel like I could.
Thanks, Mom.
Like, I don't know. I think with Rihanna, I was mad I didn't go to her anti, and I really wanted to. I don't know.
I forgot. Was that?
Her videos of like people's videos of that, I'm like, that looked like a good show.
It was, but I ain't gonna lie. I feel like she was on something, because it got to a point where she was just like, I can't remember even
like
what song.
Kind of out of it.
Yeah, but me and my best friend was like, bro, like, it was kind of like, all right, we could leave whenever you want to, because I just felt like we wasn't getting like the full her. We was literally getting her on something.
Yeah, that's a no.
I seen Beyonce at Barack Obama's inauguration too. That was the first time I seen her in person.
Say it again.
I ain't gonna lie, going to school in DC was crazy.
It sound fucking clutch.
It was just the perfect time to be there. Yeah, so my first election I voted in was Barack re-election.
Yeah, the real nigga. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then when we had a watch party in our little student centers called Blackburn. When he won, the whole school walked to the White House, like a 45-minute walk. It was freezing cold.
45 minutes, bro?
But it was so many people out there, like, because he did a lot of stuff for like gay rights and all of that. Yeah. So people out there, boom boxes, gay flags, like literally having a party outside the White House. And then inauguration, we all walked from the campus to the Lincoln Memorial or whatever. And yeah, Beyonce sung the little national anthem and all that. We seen her. My best friend just reminded me that when I was in Atlanta, I was like, bro, we definitely did that.
The only time I was singing, hey, B, what note are you on? I'll be under. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm still not singing it. I was here for the Beyonce concert, right?
And then I'm leaving. Like, you're good.
It was so crazy. Like, they turn off, well, they won't say that, but cell phone service. It be snipers all on the roof.
That's crazy.
And they say for like every one you can see, there's like three that you can't or something like that.
What?
I was like, bro, it's so scary, but it was like so. I was just scared. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared.
That
like,
sounds
my mom
very,
kept
like,
saying, "Be safe," because it was like, bro, they gonna try to kill this black man.
And that's unfortunate that we even got to think like that.
And it's crazy too.
In a moment where we're supposed to be blissful and joyful,
and we was, and I think we was kids technically, so like dumb and happy, but also like I was like, bro, and then. What if you an innocent bystander? Because when the sniper starts shooting, like, they really got aim, but
they're not really
God
caring,
forbid the motherfucker right next to me.
But they don't care. Like, they're not. They just like, hey, I just got my target, and that's what I'm trying to hit. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, before we close out, can I tell the story of your birthday? Because
No,
you didn't talk about it.
I said no. Very good. Go ahead and go talk. Hey, bro, I need to see if the Bengals winning.
All right. Well, this was a nice time.
This was. We have to do it again. I think on my YouTube, I'm gonna do like a girl talk.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
Let's talk about these niggas.
How they ain't shit. The use. Well, this was a grand time, JJ. I hope you come back. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like, comment, share. If you are watching this on the tube, hit me with the thumbs up, hit the bell. JJ also has a YouTube channel.
I do. You want me to plug myself?
Yeah.
Wow, just drop the link. Please subscribe. I just feel like I'm pretty similar to Khadijah. Like, I want to make like everyday girl YouTube videos. So that's what I try to put on my page. Not like whatever is trending, but just like if I'm doing something I feel like it could be helpful to other people,
Mm-hmm.
I try to put it on my YouTube.
It's never, I feel like our pages are never like we're faking.
Yeah.
And it's no shade to nobody that is. I mean, get you know, do
if that's making you money, fake. Right?
Yeah,
because I'm about to fake my butt as soon as I get the funds. So do what you need to do. But like,
yeah, but it's like if you come to our channels, it's very much so like you getting what you're getting.
It's like chilling with your cousin, your best
Bookie
friend.
and them, yeah.
Bookie and LeRoy.
Bookie and LeRoy.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's what we should call every time we get together.
All right, we're gonna call this Bookie and LeRoy.
I want to be Bookie because you can be LeRoy.
All right, y'all. As always, stay blessed, stay black. Peace.
Peace.